Welcome to Sahel College dear students. Let me introduce you myself. Myself Shruti KN and I am your biology lecturer here. So I will be taking the 5th chapter here. That is morphology of flowering plants, which comes under the unit 2. That is structural organization in plants and animals. Now let us discuss what is this morphology. Actually, the term morphology, it has been derived from the Greek language. It has been derived from the Greek language. Morphos or morphe means form, whereas logi means study. So by the definition, morphology is nothing but the branch of science that deals with the study of external features of living organisms. So that is called as morphology, and the study of external features of living organisms here includes the study of their size, their color, form, structure. So these all comes under the study, and also adaptations. Various plants, you might have seen various plants present in different environmental conditions, and they will be showing their own adaptations to survive in those environmental conditions. And that is about the adaptations. There will be a difference morphologically or externally. There will be a difference between the cactus plant as well as hibiscus plant. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಸ್ ನ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಏನಿದೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿ. But what is the importance of morphology? Why we need the knowledge of morphology? It helps in the correct recognition and identification of the plants. So now when the weeds are removed, whether the plants are weeds, are they crops, are they useful medicinal plants or toxic plants? So to differentiate between them, we need the knowledge of morphology. And also it helps in the plant classification. You have already studied that many living organisms are present on this planet Earth, and all these living organisms have been classified and placed under separate groups based on their similarities as well as dissimilarities, right? So all these living organisms have been placed under 5 different kingdoms. What are they? Monera, Protista, Mycota, Plantae and Animalia. So likewise, based on the similarities and dissimilarities, various living organisms have been placed under these 5 kingdoms. Now let us move on to the kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae, again it is divided into 5 different divisions. What are they? Algae, bryophytes, and then comes the pteridophytes, gymnosperms, as well as angiosperms. The kingdom Plantae have been divided into these 5 different divisions. Here we are not speaking about these 4 different divisions, but we are speaking only about the angiosperms. Angiosperms are nothing but the flowering plants. So what is the chapter name? It is the morphology of flowering plants. Morphology, the study of external features of the plants is called as morphology, or living organisms is called as morphology, and flowering plants are nothing but angiosperms. So what do you mean by angiosperms? How do you define angiosperms? These are the plants which bears flowers and fruits, and when you look at the fruits, they will be enclosing seeds. So closed seeded plants ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತೀವಿ ಈ ಒಂದು angiosperms ಗೆ, and these angiosperms are highly evolved. They will be having highly evolved structures. They are most abundant and also they are most recent. Recent in the sense they are not born or evolved on this earth 10 or 20 years back. They have been evolved on this earth and that is approximately around 20 million years ago. So 20 million years ago, even the angiosperms they came into existence on this planet Earth. And these angiosperms, they are abundant. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ನಮಗೆ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? Okay, and then they are most conspicuous. Conspicuous nothing but it comes under abundancy. That is, we can easily see many of the angiosperms on the roadside. So that is about the conspicuous. And even though abundancy ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಒಂದು plants angiosperms ಏನಿದೆ they contribute about 50% to the plant kingdom. Kingdom plant ಏನಿದೆ I told you kingdom plant is divided into these 5 different divisions. So among these kingdom plant 50% of the plants ಯಾವ್ದರಿಂದ contribution ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ it is from the angiosperms. So angiosperms are contributing about 50% of the plant or flora to the plant kingdom. Rest ಈ ಒಂದೆಲ್ಲ sum total ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿ 50% ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ they all are contributing there, right? And these angiosperms, that is flowering plants, they show varieties, they show diversity in terms of their size. They will be showing the varieties or diversity in terms of their size. Not only size, they also show diversity in their habitat, as well as their lifespan. And also these angiosperms will be showing diversity in terms of their nutrition. So when we speak about the diversity of angiosperms with respect to their size, so the size of the angiosperms, it varies between 0.1 millimeters to several acres or hundreds of meters. The size of angiosperm, it varies between 0.1 millimeters to several acres or hundreds of meters. So here even the smallest angiosperm anta heli nodidaga example for smallest angiosperm is Wolffia. Wolffia is it is the smallest angiosperm whose diameter is 0.1 millimeters and it is a rootless aquatic plant. And largest angiosperm anta heli nodidaga I told you the size of the angiosperm it varies from 0.1 millimeters to several acres anta heli. And this several acres anta heli nodidaga the largest known angiosperm is nothing but the banyan tree. Yadu the banyan tree. And this tree has the capacity to spread over several acres with the help of their crop roots. So these crop roots are nothing but the adventitious roots that are hanging from the branches. Later on I speak about these crop roots, and due to the presence of these crop roots the banyan tree can spread over several acres. And one more thing, there is a tallest known angiosperm that is nothing but the Australian eucalyptus. Its scientific name is Australian regnans. It is called as regnans, and it is the tallest known angiosperm. So the tallest known angiosperm is nothing but Australian eucalyptus. It is nothing but the Australian eucalyptus. It can grow up to a height of 100 meters. And none of the other angiosperms have reached this much of height. So the smallest angiosperm known is Wolffia, largest known is banyan tree, and the tallest known angiosperm is Australian eucalyptus. And now let us know the diversity of angiosperms in terms of their habit. But what do you mean by habit? Habit is nothing but the general appearance of the plants. So it depends upon the duration, nature of the stem. So ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಡ್ಯೂರೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಸೊ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, that is called as the habit. And based on the habit, these angiosperms have been classified into 3 types basically: herbs, shrubs, called as herbs. Example for that, usually some of the monocots like wheat, paddy. So these are examples for herbs. Whereas shrubs, when we speak about the shrubs, these shrubs will be having woody stems and they are non-pliable, that is, we cannot bend them without breaking. Pliable in the sense, we can bend the stem without breaking. Non-pliable in the sense, we cannot bend the stem without breaking. So, as the shrubs are having woody stems, we cannot bend them easily. If we try to bend them more, they will break off. So, those are called as shrubs. Example for shrubs, hibiscus, rose, henna. Henna nothing but mehendi. So that comes under shrubs. Now let us move on to the trees. What are trees? Trees are nothing but, they are nothing but the stems with the plant axis which is very strong and thick. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು plants ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು stem ಏನಿದೆ ಅಥವಾ plant axis ಏನಿದೆ, if it is thick, very strong and woody, such type of trees are called as, such type of plants are called as trees. And these woody stems ಏನಿದೆ, it is called as trunk. What do we call for that? It is called as trunks ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Example for trees, mango tree, and then neem tree, and then banyan trees. So these are examples for trees here. Now let us move on to the angiosperm diversity based on their habitat. So what do you mean by habitat? What do you mean by habitat? Habitat is nothing but the place of dwelling. Habitat is nothing but the place of dwelling. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, so that is called as habitat. And usually where and all we can find the presence of these plants, we can find the presence of these plants on land or within the water, right? So based on that habitat, the angiosperms have been classified into or divided into hydrophytes. They are divided into hydrophytes as well as terrestrial forms or plants. What do you mean by hydrophytes? Hydrophytes are nothing but the aquatic plants which lives inside the water. Inside or present under the water, or they might be floating on the water. But the medium of the growth or place of dwelling of the plants, if it is water, then they are called as hydrophytes. But how about the terrestrial plants? Terrestrial plants are nothing but some of the plants will be placed on earth, that is land, that will be growing on land. So those plants which grows on land are called as terrestrial plants. And these land plants will not be growing, terrestrial plants will not be growing in the same environmental conditions. It will be different. If the plants are growing in moderate conditions ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಡ್ರೈ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬಾ ವೆಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇರಲ್ಲ. So the land will neither be too dry nor be too wet. And if the plants are growing in the moderate conditions, then that type of plants are called as mesophytes. What do we call for them? They are called as mesophytes. If the plants are growing in salty areas, salty region, so those are called as halophytes. What do we call for them? They are called as halophytes. If the plants are growing on the sand ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, those are called as psammophytes. What do we call for them? They are called as psammophytes. Those plants are called as psammophytes. If the plants are seen growing on the rocks, they are called as lithophytes. What do we call for them? They are called as lithophytes. And some of the plants, they will be growing on other plants or trees. If the plants are growing on other plants, those are called as epiphytes. Those are called as, what do we call for them? Epiphytes. So if this is the tree on the branches, here we can find the presence of one more plant. So these plants are called as epiphytes.